Look here, fellas. Between the cowl and the dash, I can stick my hand in there. It's so rusted out. It's pretty rough, fellas. Sure is. I don't know. I'm gonna quit engineering anything, fellas, because I suck at it. If it can happen, it will happen, and it's going to be just catastrophic. This debacle, it's over. Yeah, keep on cranking. Only thing I can tell you. I tell you what, fellas, this right here, well, it's just typical MLS backyard butchery. Oh, she's spinning on and on. Somebody come by me in this 5 mile an hour traffic and told me I had no brake lights. Sitting dead on E when I pulled in the parking lot here. Well, here's the deal, fellas. I've lost brakes. Well, the smoke is brake fluid on the brake drum. It looks like we're headed to Clarksville, Tennessee. 7-hour trip, I don't know, 350, 400 miles without rear brakes. Dude has left me stranded. Yeah. I'm not drunk, I promise. This week on This and That Garage, we are headed on a trip to look at and possibly buy a 3-car package deal. But as per usual here at the MLS Central Backyard Butchery capital of the world, well, things don't go quite as planned and it becomes the usual adventure. Yep. I'll let the video speak for itself, so let us get busy. Well, I'm back up here in the mountainous regions of Arkansas. If you will recall, I was down here last fall at my niece's campground. What's the name of it? Grassy Roads, Cabins and Campground, something like that. We bought the Doodie Brown dually and got it running and drove it back home. Well, I'm back up here again. We're gonna float the river tomorrow. And I thought, you know what? Let's see if we can find something to buy, drive home, or whatever. Well, as luck would have it, I found not one, not two, but 3 1964 Chevelles Malibus. That's where I'm headed right now to go see them. Let me tell you, I'm on Highway 9, I believe it is. They're in Calico Rock. This is possibly the curviest road I've ever been on in my life. It's pretty bad. I'm talking switchback curvy in some points. It is beautiful though, yes sir, but it is raining and on this curvy road. It's not the best combination. Anyway, we're gonna head there. The pictures on Marketplace look pretty decent. I think we can make at least one pretty good car out of 3, possibly 2. We'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, let's head on down the road and hopefully they're good enough that I'll buy them. Well, I made it up here, and I have looked at all 3 of them, and I ain't decided what I'm going to do just yet, but one of them's a little rougher than I thought. This right here, I thought it was going to be the Builder, and it looks great in pictures, but the hood, well, it's just got holes all in it. The bracing underneath, if I can get it to open, let me see. It's just kind of rusted out everywhere. Especially all down in there. Firewall looks pretty decent. I see some screws or rivets there on the patch panel though. I didn't realize that before. But here's the main thing. Look here, fellas. Between the cowl and the dash, I can stick my hand in there. It's so rusted out. The window frame is rusted away from the roof. Inside we got a bunch of squares cut out. I don't remember if that floor's rotted over there or not, but it's a little rougher than I saw in the pictures. I think back here's kind of rough. Well, it ain't real bad. I've seen worse. Y'all have seen what I put on the road, but I was counting on this one being the Builder. That ain't too bad either. It's the main thing is the cowl and windshield. I couldn't even put a a windshield in here if I wanted to, because that's so bad. Let's go over here and look at the next one. Here's the second one. Looks great on this side, doesn't it? Except for busted windshield. The inside, well, it's got some of the dash. Got a bench seat. It ain't real bad looking. This locked, so I can't get in here. But the floor didn't look bad, but here you go. This is the issue right here. It's pretty rough, fellas. Sure is. And this doesn't really scare me, except right here on this A-pillar where they pushed it in. Well, the dash. She's bowed. She's bowed real bad. I don't know. I mean, it can be straightened out. But here's why I sort of like this one. There ain't no rust. I've been under it. There's no rust in the floorboards. But she sure is mangled. Whoever did that to that car, they ought to be beat half to death. Yep, sure enough. Anyway, let's go look at the third one. Here is the third one. It's got a lot of surface rust on the sides, but firewall looks really good. It did get smashed in the front. I mean, that's nothing major. It doesn't have a whole lot of dents in it, and that does need some quarter repair. You know, it's an old car, that's to be expected, but around here it's not rusted out, so that's good. I don't know if we can get into this or not. No, it does need some floor repair in there. Little damage right in here, but like I said, it's an old car. It's going to have some rust, a lot of surface rust. It looks like somebody, well, I don't really know what they did, but I've looked underneath, and the floorboards, well, that door don't open. Let's go back to the other side. The floorboards are immaculate, and the interior, the dash, seats look really good. Of course, you know, headliner is gone. Not sure what I'm gonna do just yet. Let me think it over. Well, it's Sunday afternoon. I'm headed back to Tennessee from the great state of Arkansas. Spent all weekend up here at my niece's campground, had a lot of fun. Floated down the Buffalo River. That was a lot of fun, very relaxing. Probably gonna come back and do that again sometime. Then, what, 3 days ago we went and looked at Chevelles. And let me tell you, I am now the proud owner of one 1964 Chevelle Malibu Sport Coupe. Yeah. The other two, a little too rough. The one I thought was going to be the Builder, no, rust bucket. The other one has been smashed all down the side. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was sitting on a farm and somebody needed to move it out of the way and he pushed it with a tractor, but this just, yeah. The A-pillar is pushed in, the dash is bowed up. I wouldn't mind having it if you could get it cheap enough because it had no rust. But he wants too much for that one, so we'll leave it. Anyway, Sunday, like I said, Sunday afternoon, I'm headed back home. About Wednesday, we're gonna hop in the old Doodie Brown dually, head back up here to Calico Rock and pick that Chevelle up. I've got it, there's a car on the trailer. I gotta get it off, it's sort of stuck. Anyway, I will probably pick y'all back up Wednesday morning when we head back up here. I'll see y'all then. Well, as you can see, I made it back home, fine and dandly. Here's old Doodie Brown on the lift. The reason he's on the lift, well, you know, that's what we're going to use to go get the Chevelle. We're going to pull my trailer that I built a couple years ago, but it's really hot right now. I don't like being hot. Yes, you could roll the windows down, but that's still hot air blowing on you. So I thought, let's put air conditioning on old Doodie Brown here. Well, the problem is, let me turn you around and show you. Compressor's gone, of course, the brackets, and that's one of them really long compressors. Don't want that anymore. We got a line missing. Is that the suction line? Yep, going to the compressor. And accumulator's been open to the elements for I don't know how long. The condenser coil is gone. They just cut the lines here. So I spent the last couple of days figuring out how I wanted to do it. So I got all the parts except for condenser coil. It should be here tomorrow. And I'm using, where did it go? I don't know. Let me find it and I'll show you. We're gonna use this little pancake compressor. It is an R4. What come on there, the really long one, that's known as an A6. Those are meant for R12. And if I'm gonna buy a compressor, I'm gonna buy one of these. Well, I already got this. So there you go, we're gonna use it. I found this sanding, it's a 510, but spinning it over, it's not producing any suction or air movement. So I'm afraid to go to the trouble of making brackets for it and then it not even compress anything. This one here, I can get easily. It was given to me by the older feller. Not real sure if it's tore up or not, but it is moving and sucking air. So I feel pretty confident about it. So we're going to use it. The thing is, this type of 454 never came with that type of compressor, and I cannot find even an aftermarket company that makes brackets to put that style compressor on this 454. If it was a newer 454 with a serpentine belt, yes, you can buy brackets easily because it came from the factory with them. So we got to make brackets here, and then we're going to have no custom hoses. So I bought, they're in the house, I guess. I bought a conglomerate of hoses, and then the crimpers, we're going to make our own hoses. Of course, condenser's coming, got to put it in. We got a new accumulator. I got to go get it at O'Reilly's here in a little while. We're going to put in a new orifice tube. I want to blow the evaporator out. Try to get all the oil, plus it's been open to the elements. Might be some bugs in it. We'll blow it out, and we'll get into all that later. But right now, main job, get this feller mounted with brackets. I got an idea. Let me set y'all up on the camera, and we'll start the mounting process. First thing I want to do is get the compressor mounted with this bracket. This is the slotted part. We got to keep it because, you know, we got to be able to adjust the belt. And I am using very professional washers as spacers. I don't know exactly how far out I got to space it, but we're going to start right there, put it in this lower hole on this factory bracket, and we'll stand back and eyeball it and see if that's close. We don't have to have it exact right now. All right, now we got that feller there. Probably gonna have to take some away, but for now we ain't worried about that. I got to get a straight edge here in a little bit. This hose is going to be an issue also. I don't know why it's got that bend in it. I guess maybe for the air. No, because the air wasn't up here, it was down here. So I don't know, that might not even be the right hose for it, but we'll have to, I'll tell you what I can do. We'll chop her off here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. We'll chop her off here and push that in, and I'll get that out of the way. Tell you what, let me get a straight edge. Let's go ahead and get this as close as we can. Straight edge off the back of this power steering pulley. Gonna be about right in that area. I need to take probably, well, maybe none, because that bracket acts like it's bent a little. So bend her back. I think that'll be okay right there for now. You know, we will fine tune it later, but as far as making our brackets, it'll be good enough. All right, I think this is where we're gonna mount it. I got her tight down there, and it's at its, you know, shortest belt length. We're gonna try, let's go ahead and make us brackets on either side to come over here, bolt here. I believe it'll pivot there. Anyway, we'll have to have spacers, like I said. Let me get me some measurements, and we might go ahead and make us a cardboard template, or we might just go ahead and make it out of metal. Anyway, let me get some measurements. I'll be right back. Overall, we need a piece of metal approximately exactly 9 inches will do. Yep. And then width-wise, probably about, reckon 2 inches will do. I think I got some 2-inch over there. Let's try it. What did I say? 9 of the inches. I think what we'll do next is use this bracket as a guide for the holes, and it's got to have a little cutout too for the bolt head. That may get in the way of that switch. Let me see. Yep. Well, we gotta rethink things. What if we did it like this? Put this here. I think it'll be okay. My switch will be here out of the way of this bracket. Yep. All right, so bolt heads there. We need to do it just like that right there. What if let's leave the most meat that we can up there. All right, let's drill whatever size hole we need. I believe this is 3/8. Now let's bolt her together so we'll have a little bit more accurate hole transfer. All right, let me drill this. I'll be back. We got to trace that out and cut it out. All right, as soon as I get my soapstone with a sharp edge, we will mark this fella right here. I'm going to break out the plasma cutter. We'll cut this out. Might go ahead and round these edges a little bit too. Something about like that. Something about like that. Something about like that. If I had any brains at all, ain't no telling what I could get done, but this is about as backwards as you can be. Yep. When I put this up here for the second hole, flipped around backwards. Luckily though, it will work on the back side, just like that right there. Let me get a bolt, make sure these line up good enough. Get another right here. Oh yeah, look at there. Got to have a longer bolt though. Actually, this may be an issue because if I get a longer bolt, the nut's going to hit the pulley. So what we'll have to do on this one, we'll have to drill and tap the holes. Yep, that's what we'll do. All right, well, let me make another for over here and hopefully I'll make it right. I'll be back in a little while. Well, I got the other bracket made and I screwed it up too. You know, we were going to drill and tap it. Well, forgot to do it. I drilled the holes too big. But the bolt head will pass through and we put a nut on the back side. So that's what we're going to do. Let me get this in here on. Then we got to take it over and mark this hole here. Let's get her bolted in, man. Well, this is not gonna work, and here's why. This is too high. I didn't account for it need to be curved. Well, that's because I'm a dummy. My brain is in neutral most of the time, but I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Let me get the light down here where you can see a little better. See where that bolt is gonna hit? Right at the bottom. So, I don't really wanna make a whole new bracket. So what we might do, cut us a V out right here, bend that down, weld it back up. Let me think about that a minute. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to make us a pie cut in this thing, bend it down, weld it up, and it should be good. Now let me tell you this. I was gonna just guess at the angle and just keep going back and forth, cut a little bit at a time, and I'd probably take it too far, pitch it in the trash, and then have to make another. So here's what I did. I said, AI, help me out here. This is what I'm doing. What measurements do you need to tell me what angle? And it said, give me this measurement, this measurement. I did. It said, cut this at a 42-degree pie cut. There you go. Let me make the other mark. We'll cut it out. And hopefully, Mr. AI knows what he's talking about. You have to set this at 21 degrees, which is half of 42. You mark it over here, you mark it over here, and go make you cut. So let me get this other half marked right here. Let me go cutty cut. All right, let me clamp a lamp it and make sure it's going to bend. Look at there. Look out there, would you just look at it. Now, before I weld it up, let's take it over there, put it on the compressor, and see if it is going to line up. There's a 1. AI was way off. Yep, sure was. Oh, yeah. I asked it, are you sure it's 42 and not 21? It said, no, 42. Well, pretty sure it's wrong. Yep. So, what I'll do is bend this up where it needs to be. I'll have to make another one of these, and then we'll use it as the pattern to bend the other one. But yeah, that ain't gonna work. Trying to get the little feller bent back up. Ooh, it won't go. Come on, man. Well, little feller won't move. Let me put it in the vise and whoop on it, and then I'll be back when I get one made. Well, I figured I'd go ahead and include y'all in this mess of backyard butchery. I'm hitting this bracket. I want to be off of it just a little bit. So according to that, I need to go down about right there. Let's go with that. Yep. So whatever this is, that's what my new bracket needs to be. I'm seriously thinking about trying to just weld that up. I don't want to have to make another one, man. Let me at least tack it, and I'll see if I can weld this up. If not, I'll have to make another one. Well, fellas, ain't but 2 things in this world I can't weld up. One of them is a broken heart. The other is a crack of dawn. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? That was a really large gap. But once we get it painted, you'll never know it was there. I got the other one made too. We finally figured out what the proper angle was supposed to be. And something else, I may end up fixing that. See how this is rounded, this is flatter. I wouldn't mind if they looked similar, so we might have to cut some off that. But for now, what we're going to do is go over here and put this on that compressor, get us a hole mark to get this drilled. And then once I grind these welds down flat on this one, we'll lay this on here, bolt it together, mark the hole and drill that one. And Bob's your uncle. Maybe this will work this time around. I got to get this bolted in and then use our transfer punch through that hole right there. I need to get it somewhat straight this way. It looks decent. It might need to come back this way some. We're going to say about right there, and then bring her in approximately there. Let me see what that looks like. Well, I'm right on the edge a little bit. Let me go in some, about right there. Yeah, I think that'd be good. Punch a lunch that hole approximately right there. All right, let me pull this off, drill this hole, and drill the other and get it ready, get them both back on. I'll be back. Well, I got the brackets on the compressor. They're loose, because we gotta put this here long bolt in. Will it go in from this away? I don't know. Oh yeah. Let's see if we can get these fellers all line it up. Not bad at all. I've got to get the belt, make sure it's lined up. Get spacers right here, get the spacers right on the bottom. But what I'm fixing to do right now is, well, let me just tell you. Let me just give you a close-up before I tell you what I'm fixing to do next. Don't look bad. No, sir. We've got to have spacers here. And by spacers, I mean washers. And I don't think I got enough. So, we're We may have to use some really big ones, and then I'll go to the store tomorrow and get the correct size. But before I do that, we got to get this lined up. Yep. Here's what I'm fixing to do right now, though. I'm hungry. My stomach is actually growling. I don't like that. No. I've told y'all before. I'm a growing boy. I'm wasting away to nothing. I got to have my food. I'm going to go in the house and eat me a sandwich. I got to go to O'Reilly's before they close and get the accumulator that I ordered and the orifice tube. And then when we get back, we'll start working on the spacer stuff. Get that right. Get the belt lined up. I'm not worried about buying a belt right now because, well, I got to take all that other belt stuff off. I don't want to do it right now, so we'll do it tomorrow. Anyways, if we can get everything ready and just put the condenser in to make our hoses tomorrow, I think we'll be looking pretty good because I want to leave here Friday morning. And tomorrow's Thursday. Yep, sure is. Anyways, I'm going to go eat, go to O'Reilly's. See y'all in a little bit. Well, I'm back from O'Reilly's. I got all the stuff I needed, and we have a dilemma. It's mounted. Everything looks great except for we got an issue with our adjusting slot. And I figured this will happen, but I was hoping it wouldn't. It's on the wrong arc. It's in the wrong place, whatever. I scribed a line where it needs to go. The only thing I know to do is I got punch marks. Drill, drill, drill. And then take my die grinder and slot it out. Gonna be a little time consuming. Let me see if I can get this done. And we might, if I got enough time, pull that accumulator off, blow through the evaporator. That may be all we do. Well, actually, I need to get a belt measurement too, so yeah. Anyways, let me get this done. I'll be back in a little bit. Holes are drilled, and, well, I don't know how well this is going to work out. I may have to weld me a piece of metal across here to strengthen this back up. Let me get this slotted first. We'll see what it looks like. See what I'm talking about? Really thin right there. I can probably weld me something up. Let's go make sure that's, going to be the right curve first. Works great. Slides back and forth like it should, but as you can see, there's just no meat there. So what I'm going to do, weld a piece over it. This right here, cut a piece to fit. We'll shape it up, weld it on here. Then I'll just have to redo my slot. Let me grind the paint off this before I try to weld it. All right, let that cool off a minute and then I'll finish that slot. Well, ours is reinforced, ground back out, and it looks like a straight line. So does the old one, so I guess it don't matter really, because it worked. Let's put it on there and see what it does. All right, let's see what's fixing to happen right, Sean, if I can get that bolt in that hole. All right, I'm gonna put the bolt in without my spacer whooshers. Let's see what happens. About right there. Now, the big question is, can we adjust the belt? Look at there. Look at there. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it, fellas? That's pretty awesome. It took all day, but that's pretty awesome. But we got our compressor mounted completely now, and we can adjust it. Yep. Here's what's going to happen now. I'm going to turn the camera off. Because it's very late and I'm fixing to be done for the day, but I want to get a belt measurement and I've got to put a new alternator on it. I burned it up the other day with the winch. You'll see that in another video in a month or so. Another car that I was struggling hardly to get off of that stupid trailer. Burnt all, well, it won't charge at idle. You rev it up and it will charge. Well, when I'm using the winch, it needs to charge at idle. Anyway, I'm gonna pull that off, change that out, give me a belt measurement, because I got to pull the alternator belt and the power steering belt. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Today's the next day, and as per usual here at MLS Central, we got an issue. Well, it's more doomousness on my part than anything, but I got 3 different manifolds that bolt to the back of the compressor. I thought surely one of them will work. No, sir, sure won't. Well, this one here might, but, well, let me just show you over here on the compressor we're actually using. That one over there, that compressor, it has an O-ring groove instead of these counter bores. This type here, it's got a big old metal O-ring washer type deal. And the ports are different sizes, just a wee bit. I've already had that off. Nope, ain't gonna work. Never fear when Backyard Butchery is near. If you will recall, a couple years ago, I drug home a 95 K1500. It's over at Mama's. It come from the Mustang farm. So, what we're gonna do is go over there and rob that manifold, and I'll have to use the sealing washers that go with it too. Let's jump in the truck. Head on over there. Well, different compressor, but the little manifold is the same, it looks like, but one sealing washer is gone. Like I said, nobody has it in stock, and this pressure switch just broke. It didn't come unscrewed, it actually broke. So, yeah, we're screwed. Let me scratch my head a little bit, and maybe I'll come up with something, but I kind of doubt it. Well, here's the deal. O'Reilly's has that sealing washer kit, and that might make one of these manifolds work. Plus, they have a hose and manifold assembly that fits an 85 that I think I can make work. Between the two, I think we're gonna be okay, but it won't be here for a couple hours. So I got a flat tire on the right rear. Let's fix that, and then we may back this little fella out of here and give him a bath while we wait. Man, I've got to clean this shop up when I get back from getting this car, because it's just, ow. It's getting to where I can't walk without tripping over stuff. Yep, I got to get my loft built if I can ever get ahead a little bit. Anyway, the only way I can get this center cap off is with this seal puller. So anytime I go off in this truck, the seal puller goes with me. It's got 2 little slots. You just have to work it back and forth. We got a wee bit of a leak on that axle right there. Did I check the rear end grease in this? I don't remember. Yeah, I think I did out there in Arkansas. Yep. It's the inside one that's flat. Oh yeah! I'm assuming it's gonna be around the bead. I don't remember if I put bead sealer on it or not, but we'll break it down and do that. Before I blindly break this down, put bead sealer on it, I realized it's got the screw together valve stem. You know, and they have a rubber seal, and that very well could be where it's leaking. So let's pump her up and check that out. I got 40 psi in it. Do we see any bubbles? Oh yeah, see them right there? Let me zoom you in on it. Oh yeah, that's where it's just leaking. I don't know, I got some of the fatter stemmed valve stems. Let me see if they'll fit. If not, I'll make another washer for that. No sir, won't work. Not a regular valve stem. Let me show you, it's oblong. See how she's not round, she's oblong. So what I might do, put some, what's that stuff called, bead sealer around this. That hopefully will take care of the problem. Got a little bit of rust around it. I'm gonna knock that off, and then I'm gonna clean this hole up a wee bit. Probably gonna put bead sealer back too, because That's a little rusty. I checked and it didn't leak, but MLS states it will if I don't, so I think we will. Bead sealer on our valve stem. Put our whoosher back on. Put our nut back on. I tell you what, it's a lot easier to put bead sealer on with the tire off, so let me pull it off. I got her pumped up to 40 of the PSIs once again. Do we have any leakages? Don't see no air bubbles, fellas. Nope, let's check inside of the valve stem. No bubbles there. Let me check both sides of the bead. If I don't see no leaks, we'll put her back on. That tire is on and done, but let me show you something. These valve stems that are on it now, well, they're a pain. Let me turn the light on. That one's way in there. You can sort of get to it. Where's my air checker thing on my bob? You can get to it, I think, with this one. No, you can't either. Nope. That needs to be, well, it's on the floor now, but it needs to be different. I bought this one, and it sort of works. It's got a swivel head on it. But if I ever think about it, I need to buy a lot longer valve stems. Oh, this one here, where is it at? Right there. I don't know if I can get to it with this one or not. Let's just see real quick. Probably not. No, it don't stick out far enough. But I do think these worked. This one worked, but it's aggravating you. So y'all remind me, buy the right valve stems for these wheels. I'm gonna go around, check all the air pressure, and let's back the little fella out and give him a bath. Well, old Doodie Brown is just a wee bit more respectable looking now. I put a little Comet in the water because it had that black stuff on it. I don't know if you can tell the difference in the hood here, but it took quite a bit of it off, but he still needs a good buffing and waxing. As soon as I backed him out of the shop, FedEx pulled up with our condenser coil, so that's awesome. It's getting close to time for O'Reilly's to have our other parts. I'm gonna leave this fella out here, let him drip dry. I'm gonna go in and take me a little break, head to O'Reilly's, get stuff I need. When we come back, let's finish the AC up on this old truck. Just got back from Ireland and got lots of parts. Hopefully I got everything I need. Here's the hose manifold thingamabob I just bought. This is for an 85. They didn't have anything for an 80 through 84 that I could get today. I don't think I'll be able to use the hoses because, well, just by looking at them. What we're probably going to do, we'll see later, cut it off here and here. Here's your little manifold. Cut it off, flare it. That will act as a barb to hold the hose on, and then we'll do our little crimp fittings. Then, well, I got a couple of different size belts for the compressor. That hose assembly didn't come with any of the sealing washers. And it said a complete kit to change hoses out. That is a lie. I think it does have the O-rings on the other end though. Anyway, I bought this sealing kit thingamabob. Let's open that up because I ain't looked at it. Make sure it's what I need. Yeah, there's your little sealing washers. You got little adapters. That'll work. Did I tell you got 2 belts? I don't know if I did or not. I got 2 belts. There's my brand new chrome alternator bedding. Look at that right there. That's gorgeous. Oh, let me tell you this real quick. If you saw the video of old Doodie Brown coming home from Arkansas, you remember he had lots of belt trouble on the alternator. Well, I think it's because this pulley is wore out. Either that or it's the wrong pulley, because we were using 7/16 belts, and well, they just wouldn't grab. So I eventually got this 1/2-inch belt here. Never had another minute's trouble out of it. But a 7/16 pulley or belt fits in here a lot better. It doesn't bottom out. So I think that was the issue, was this pulley. Anyway, condenser, let's get it on first. Get this out of the way and get the grill out of the way. Let's see if these bolts will come loose. I'm gonna take just these bars. I think it'd be a pain to get these fellers out of the way too. Get out of the way, sir. Now we got to get the grill out of the way, and it's not screwed in, if you will recall. I don't know why. We'll investigate that, but I ain't worried about too much. Wonder why it won't come out. Ta-da! With RTS, this is what they call a parallel flow. This is what you want to use on retrofit using 134A. They claim this cools a lot better. And that's not going to go in there. Nope. How in the world are we going to get this in there? I'm going to have to take this feller out and hopefully go in like this. Yep. So, let me investigate that real quickly. Now will it come out? Look at here. Look at here. Would you look at it? How does this mount? Well, I don't know. I know it goes in here, approximately like this. Let me pull this little feller back out if I can. Yeah, it's got a rubber isolator over here too. So if it's a through bolt, the radiator has to come loose so I can get to the back side of it. Man, oh man, what have I gotten myself into? Well, I got the condenser coil in. I got our latch, whatever, back in. I'm gonna leave the grill and this out because I still got to hook hoses up. What we're doing now is fixing to put the compressor on, but I got to put oil in it first. This is a used compressor. I think I told y'all that. The older feller, he had a time with, I think it was an 85 C10, trying to get air to work on it. This compressor come off of it. He said the compressor locked up. Well, it's not. So So I don't know what was going on, but it is used compressor, and there is a possibility that, you know, it may not work. If not, then I'll just go buy another one. But I got to put oil in it before we put it on there because it's empty. I have flipped it over, nothing comes out. I'm using ester oil, and here's why. These fellers here, the ones that ran R12, used a mineral oil. Newer stuff uses a PAG oil, PAG 46, or I think PAG 150. Well, the PAG oil and the mineral oil, no, they don't get along. When they mix, forms a sludge, and it will lock the compressor up eventually. So I'm not using PAG oil. Well, ester oil mixes with mineral oil and PAG oil just fine. So that's why we're going to use ester oil, because the only thing original left will be the evap coil. It's probably going to have some oil in it. And just to be on the safe side, you're not going to blow it all out. Just to be on the safe side, we're going to run ester oil so we don't lock our compressor up. It needs about 8 ounces, so let me put that in there, and I'll be right back. This has 32 ounces. I need to go to 24, 6 and 2 is 8. So let me go, hi-ya! Oh, I tried to use my pinky because that's small. Let's use the thumb. Hi-ya! That worked. 8 ounces. We'll put that in there. Yep, I believe that's it. Now what you want to do is you want to turn the compressor, not just the pulley, but the compressor itself, and get that oil circulated. Now that I made a mess, when you buy a new compressor, they tell you to sit it like this for a little while, let the oil get down to that seal on the shaft. But like I said, this is a used one, so it's probably done got Earl to it. So we'll go ahead and put it on the vehicle. Compressor is mounted. It's time to see if this here belt's gonna fit. Here's something I don't understand. I may have to go to AutoZone to get the right belt. I don't know. AutoZone at Advanced calls for a 7/16. O'Reilly's calls for a 3/8. I don't know why. Is it gonna go? I don't think so. I don't think it's nowhere near long enough. Nope. It won't even think about it. So I don't understand that. It's gotta be 2 inches longer. I got another. Let me see if it's gonna work, but I doubt it. No, sir. That belt needs to be, I'm gonna say at least another inch. No, it's probably 2 inches. I don't understand it unless I didn't have the rope routed right or something. But this is, yeah, ain't no way, sirs and ma'ams, that would ever fit. Let's continue putting everything together, and then I'll go to the store here in a little bit and I'll get 3 or 4, 5, 6 more hoses. I mean belts. I may have some hanging up. I'll look here in a little bit. Well, I went through my stash of belts over there. I found one that fits. It's an A59. I don't know if y'all can see that. That's not automotive, but it does. It's almost too long. I'm right at the end of my adjustment, but it gives me an idea of what I need now. As you can see, it's dark out. We're not leaving tomorrow. Nope. I ain't gonna get in a rush doing this. But I would like to, tonight, I'd like to get all the hoses on it and maybe get a vacuum pulled on it and see if it'll hold all night. Where are we gonna start? Let's pull the accumulator off, blow that evap out, and we'll put the new accumulator on and start making hoses. Let me get this switch off here first. You know, I think, if I remember correctly, 134 is what we're going with. I think it has to run at a little lower pressure than 12. And you need, well, wait a minute, never mind. This one is adjustable. It's got a screw in the middle, so, yep. if this works, that'll be just fine and dandly. I was going to tell you 134 runs at a lower pressure. You might have to buy a 134 switch, or an adjustable. That is adjustable, so I ain't going to worry about it. Oh yeah, that little fella there is tight. Let me get on up here where I can get a good grip on it. Oh yeah, there we go. Reason I'm changing this, been open here, probably bugs and definitely moisture. This has desiccant in it. Oh, we got a clamp, and that desiccant sucks up moisture, and then it, it doesn't do its job anymore. So we gotta put a new one on. Shoo, man, that stinks. I guess it's the old oil. Oh man, I lost my screw. Let me find that. You son of a gun. Now we gotta get the orifice tube out. Oh, that is bending. Oh yeah. All right, the orifice tube is in there. Gotta have some, what do you call them? Needly noses. Oh, that little fella don't want to come out. If I break this off in there, then we are for sure done. Well, doggone. I don't know, but it won't come out. Well, I broke it. There you go. I'll be back if I get that out. Well, I have not been real successful. I did run a big lag screw in it. Where did it go? I don't know, but it was bigger. Here it is. An actual lag screw. And put the torch to it, and well, it has melted quite a bit of it. Let's see if we can pull that little bit out right there. Yeah, there's part of it. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to hit it with some air. See if it'll blow the rest of it out. No, but it is blowing oil. Let me get a rag. Wonder if I can run this screw in there and then pull the rest of it out. Probably not. Look at here, fellas. Another chunk. I don't know if that's all of it, but she is melted. Let me get my camera there and look up. Actually, let's hit it with some air first. See what happens. A lot of Earl. That's that mineral oil I was telling y'all about that doesn't work real good with the PAG oil. Anyway, let me get my camera and shine it up in there, see what I see. Because I don't know if I got it out or not. What do we see? Can we see anything at all? Well, I can't get it to focus. Let's see. No, it won't focus. Too much stuff around. Anyway, let me investigate. I'll let y'all know what I figure out. Well, I finally pulled what I think is the remainder of that. Let's look at the new one. If that looks like the end of it, then I'll say that's the end of it. Where's its hat? Yes, sir, there's the O-ring, and yep, that's all of it now. But the next issue is, I don't remember my channel locks touching that, but it has gnawed this really bad. The threads. Let me see if I can straighten that out. If I can, then we're good. If not, well, then we're not good. Nope, sure ain't. Let's blow that oil out first. Oh, wait a minute, that's gonna get everywhere. Well, I'm just gonna have to cover it up because it's making a mess. Well, we gotta get all that oil out that we can. Well, it's still quite a bit. Let me work on this, work on those threads. I'll be back in a little bit, and hopefully I will be able to tell you I got the threads fixed and we're good to go. Well, I got her smoothed up and fixed, but it was not the threads, no. The end of the tube, the aluminum tube, was just gnawed all to pieces. I'm telling you right now, my channel locks never touched that. The nut right here, it come off hard the whole way. So I think it was already done, either from the factory or somebody else working on it. But I'll show you a picture here of me smooth it up. It looks a lot better, but it's still kind of rough. I don't know if it's going to work or not. But here's what we're going to do. We got to have the hoses anyway, so let's go ahead and make them. And I'll put shop air on it, pressure test it, soap it up real good. If it don't leak, that's awesome. We will continue. If it does leak, well, we need an evaporator, and that will probably end this project. And we'll head on to Arkansas to get that Chevelle. Well, here's the latest in this debacle of a backyard butchery mess of, I don't know. I'm going to quit engineering anything, fellers, because I suck at it. Normally on the compressor, your suction and pressure port will be up here. Well, you remember I had to reclock the compressor because my bracket wasn't going to work out. Actually, I think it's because of the switch. Yeah, that's what it was. Where my plug-in goes, this is too thick. I couldn't get wires on it. It was going to hit it. So I moved these all the way down here. Well, I filled it up with oil a little while ago. And I pulled this out to put my hoses on. The oil just poured out. Well, if I put these up here, we'd run into the same problem. This hits here, and then this bracket hits here. So I clocked her a little bit different. And, well, my bracketry don't work out right, which will have one hole. Let me get this up here. We'll have to cut about half that bracket off, and only this hole right here. This one I won't be able to use on the back bracket. It'll probably still be okay. But here's the deal. Now that this is vertical, well, where are my hoses? Let me just show you real quickly what's going to happen when they're vertical. It's going to be just like that right there, and they're going to stick up. I can't shut the hood. So what I'm trying right now, I got it in the vise. I'm trying to bend them, but you have to be careful with aluminum because it will kink and collapse just like that. Let's see what I can do with it. All right, let's see. It's going to be like this. And they both need to bend right here in these bends. I've already bent this one a little bit. And I'm just going really slow. Just a little at a time, move it around. This isn't ideal either, that sharp edge. It'd be nice if it was rounded, but that's all I got. So maybe if we keep on, let me get that little feller to come on around without kinking on me. Come on, little buddy. That there ain't bad. Let me work on this big one real quick, like. Get him up in here. Now this in here, yep, he's probably the one that really screws us up. We're getting there. If I can get it to match that little one, we'll be A and okay. Let me see what that looks like. Well, I finally got it bent to match this, and I believe we're going to be okay. It's going to be right there. We're below this. We're below this. So I think we're good. I was hoping I could reuse these hoses, but this is the suction side, and it's got to go over yonder to the accumulator. I don't think I'll be able to get that straightened out. I'm going to try it, but pretty sure we won't succeed. And then this one, I believe I can use though, because it's got to go through here and bend and get to that port on the, what's that thing called? The condenser. But yeah, I think that's going to work now. I will just cut this in half and we'll just have this. And what I may end up doing, maybe not tomorrow, definitely not tonight, build me another bracket back here to strengthen it up a little more, because we're losing, one more point, and that ain't good. But that is the plan. I'm gonna go and bolt this on there and just see what things look like. But I think I'm fixing to call it a night. I'm gonna turn the camera off. I'm gonna piddle a little bit, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, and hopefully I will have all this figured out. Well, I don't know if it's the next day again or what day it is, but here's what I come up with last night. This would almost, I could probably make it work, but here's the deal. This has a female end, and what it has to connect to is also female. I don't have an adapter, so here's what we're going to do. Fully on this, we're going to cut her off about right there. I will put a small flare that will act as a barb to help hold the hose on so it won't slip off. and then we'll just make us a new hose from here over to the accumulator. So what I need to do first, let's get the accumulator on, get this little fella on the accumulator, and then we'll make us a new hose for that. I need to get this orifice tube in firstly. Here's your O-ring, and you got a short side and a long side. Short side goes in firstly. You got little nubbins here. You got a tool that can come in here and hook it, pull it out. If I'd have had that tool last night, it might have come out a little easier, but anyway, let's see if it'll go in. And don't forget to lube your O-ring. This ain't wanting to go in. There's a good possibility, remember I put heat to it? There's a good possibility that there's still some of that left in there. Yep. Well, per usual here at Backyard Butchery, capital of the world, this ain't going right. Let me figure it out and I'll be back. Well, I finally got the orifice tube to go in. It has literally been an hour and a half that I've been battling with it. Let me explain what's going on. Well, for those who don't know, MLS is Morris Luck Syndrome. Morris is my last name. This is something Daddy came up with a long time ago. It's Murphy's Law times 1 gajillion. If it can happen, it will happen, and it's going to be just catastrophic. And I've told you all before too, MLS is multifaceted, meaning it can hit you from several different fronts, different things. Well, one of those is you can be fighting 2, 3, 6, 100 different problems on the same thing. And you got to figure out each problem to get it fixed. Well, that's what's going on with this. Let me turn you around and I'll try to explain it. Well, originally, it just wouldn't go in but about that far. I was like, what in the world? So I stuck my camera down in there, this one here, and I saw some ridges. I was like, well, where did they come from? Then it finally hit me, dummy. It's when you put this big old lag screw in there to get the old one out. So don't use a big lag screw. The little screw, I think it's okay. Don't use that because it will dig into the side and actually cut grooves or threads, and it'll be raised edges. So I filed that down. Still wouldn't go. Filed it. Still wouldn't go. I was like, what in the world? So I decided, I tell you what, let's get a transfer punch the same diameter as the orifice tube. Stuck it in there, and it would only go to approximately, let me get up here where I can reach it. It would only go to approximately right here. Let me turn this light on. It would only go to about right here. Well, look what is here. It's a clamp lamp. Yep, I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's a clamp lamp. And I got to thinking, this is aluminum tubing, clamp too tight, won't let it go in. So I loosened the clamp and I drove the transfer punch in, and would you look at it? Would you just look at it, fellers? I ain't gonna push it all the way in just yet, but it goes in now. That clamp had the tube squeezed. That's why it wouldn't come out to begin with. So if you ever run into this, change the orifice tube, won't come out, loosen that clamp first. It might come out, but probably not. Anyway, this has been an hour and a half battle. Let me get my dryer or accumulator back on, and we'll see if we can't get this hose made and all the rest of the lines. Ode to the joys of modifying vehicles. Here's the next hurdle. They just keep on coming, fellers. I was fixing to cut this off, and I was going to run a hose over here to our accumulator. Well, I don't have any fittings that size in my little hose kit that I bought. They're all basically, well, no, there are some different sizes, but this is the biggest one I got, and that is nowhere near what I need. So I got to scratching my head. Either we're done or I'm going to have to rig something up. Well, here's the dilemma. This is 5/8 tubing. This measures 3/4. But the bubble end, the flare end, both of them measure 700. So this one grew and that one shrunk whenever they made this bubble flare end. So I called our local hose place, Clarksville Fastener. And he says he thinks he's got something that I can couple these two together with. So I'm taking this line with me. I'm going to take that loose over there. Hopefully they got something we can cut here and even cut that off and join the two. If not, then this debacle, it's over. for now anyway. Anyways, let me run to town. I'm gonna pick up a belt too at AutoZone. Hopefully it'll be the right size. I'll see y'all in an hour or two. Just got back from town, and this is what they give me. I've never seen anything like this. It is a flare fitting and a ferrule fitting, all in one. You got a little nut that goes on top of them. This goes on the line, and it does like a regular ferrule. It tightens down on the line, and then this tightens down on the flare. I think he called it a flareless fitting. I don't know, but it was not cheap. $42 for this little feller here. 5/8 to 3/4. I'm sure I can find it online cheaper. That place is usually pretty expensive, but I needed it right now, so there you go, fellas. If you need it right now, you pay what they say. I got to cut this end off. We're going to cut her off by right here. Join them. Put this conglomerate back on. We'll have one line to make from the bottom line on the condenser over to where our, what's that called? Orifice tube is. That'll be done. Then we can pull a vacuum on it. I went to AutoZone 2 and got 3 different belts. If one of these don't work, I'm calling it quits because I'm tired of working on this stupid thing. Well, let us get busy and get this done. All right, let me deburr that inside real quickly. Then we'll put the little fella in the vise. Make sure that's down all the way and get a big old croissant. Keep on cranking. Only thing I can tell you. That's pretty tight right there. Let's try that. Let me do the other end and we'll put it on the truck. I tell you what, fellers, this right here, well, it's just typical MLS backyard butchery garbage that happens around here. And it's done made me so mad that I done got loopy. This is about the 4th time that I've tried to do this segment of the video, trying to tell y'all what the problem is and then how I'm going to fix it. By the time I get done with the explanation, I realize, well, that won't work either. About ready to give up. Let me turn the camera around and show you what's going on. Well, I got what we just did done. It's bolted to the compressor, hopefully for the final time. I got our little adapter fitting all tightened up. Hopefully it don't leak. I got her hooked up to at least one side of the condenser. Well, here's the issue. We got to make us a line from the condenser over to where the orifice tube is. Well, if you will notice, that is a female nut. Let me explain why that is important. If you come over here and look at my kit that I bought off of Amazon, every single fitting here is a female nut. The only way to hook a female nut to another female nut is with an adapter. I don't have one. The hose shop just closed, so we may be screwed. Let me explain real quickly what I was going to do. One of the things I was going to do, then I realized it ain't going to work. This is the original hose that was on this truck, the liquid line. If you notice, that is a male nut. It will screw into that. Wonderful. I was going to cut this off and then crimp a new hose onto it and run it over there, you know, to the orifice tube. Well, I realized I don't have just this little sleeve ferrule. All of them have a fitting on the end of it, so it's not going to work. All I need is this sleeve, which I might could drill or knock that out. That is an option. Just realize that. We may do that. Here's why I don't want to use this original hose. See that right there? The outer sheathing is gone. It looks like it melted. It gets kind of close to the exhaust. This might be okay, or it may leak like a sieve. I don't know. Now that I just realized it might be possible to separate this, let me take one of them, probably this in here, yeah, and see what I can do with it. Cut that off and then knock it out or something. I'll be back in a minute. That might work. All right, here's what I got. I took this fitting end out, and there's our little sleeve that we crimp. And then I took the hose off of this factory fitting. That's a weird looking setup right there, GM. That's their barbed fitting, I guess. As long as it seals and stays on, I don't care. but this is how it's going to work. This, it's hard to do this one-handed, but this will slide on the end of our hose, or our fitting. Then our hose will slide up in there. You go crimp a crimp. There you go. Let's give it a try. Let me set y'all up on the camera stand. I'm glad I thought of this, and I literally just thought of it while I was trying to tell y'all that we were going to use the original hose, or try to. Anyway, let's see what this little feller is going to do. Here's the crimping tool. Close her back down. Well, what's going on? Maybe we got to loosen it up. It doesn't even fit. This won't go in there. It likes a 1/4 inch. So, fellas, I'm about ready to go in the house and just not even go get this car. It don't make any sense, man. This is what this is supposed to fit. Yep. And it won't close up. I think I got the right die in here. The next size down wouldn't even close up, so. All right, let's make sure that stays down in there. Go to crimping a little fella until it stops. The only thing I know to do. That doesn't feel very promising. Nope, sure don't. That didn't do nothing, no. This is the wrong die. Oh, that's still just as loosey-goosey as can be. Let me see if I can figure out this confounded thing. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, I got the 5/16 die in here. I tried it a minute ago and it wouldn't close. It wouldn't let me put the pin in. Don't know why. But we've crimped it a little bit with the 8. Let's see what the 6 does, because what we got right now, no, that ain't gonna work. We'll go till it won't go no more. It's either gonna crimp it and not leak, or pinch the hose into. Ooh! Well, that's crimped a little bit better than the other one. She ain't twisting. The only thing I know to do is try it, fellas. Let me get this on the truck. I gotta get me a length and we'll do the other end. Well, I've got that hose in. See the little fella right there? I got all the hoses in. I got everything tightened up, hopefully. I don't think I forgot any O-rings. What we're fixing to find out, because I got shop air hooked up to my gauges. Here we go. Well, I hear air over in this area, but is it just filling up that expansion? Yeah, it's just filling it up. So, yeah, it just quit there. Let me get my soap. I'm gonna find every joint that I can find, hit it with soap. Y'all pray. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, cross your eyes. Say your prayers so we don't have any leaks. Well, I have checked everything. Back of the compressor, all of these crimped places, all of these screw together places. In here on the condenser, ain't no leaks nowhere there. Checked everything on the accumulator, ain't nothing leaking. Our orifice tube area, I thought we might leak there. Nope. The only place we're leaking, fellers, guess where? Our $42 fitting. Yep. Let me get the big croissants out. Tighten that up a little more. Maybe it'll quit. All right, let's see if I can crank down on it. Nope. It's about as tight as it's gonna get, fellers. About as tight as it's gonna get. That ain't good. Ah! All right. Where'd my soap go? Here it is. Still got a leak. Yep. Awesome. Let me pull that apart. See what I see, but that's probably going to end us up right there. If I had to do some guessing, that's what I would say. Well, here's inside of the fitting, and we see that little ridge. Well, that's where that ferrule has squished down on the tube. So I know that's squishing good. The only thing left is the sealing surface on the flare part. And I've looked it over and don't really see nothing going on with it. Not sure what I'm gonna do. We got approximately, I don't know, 95 PSIs on that gauge. Where's my soap? Let's hit her with some soap. Look at there, fellas. Look up there. I don't see nary a bubble. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go back over all the fittings again with the soap, make sure we ain't got no leaks. I gotta get busy. I still gotta put alternator on. I got to make sure one of my belts fits the AC. We gotta get her pumped down. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut the camera off, get all that done. When I come back, hopefully I'll tell y'all she's pumped down. I'm fixing to fire it up, put Freon in it. I'll see y'all an hour or two. Well, fellas, I do believe this old cobbled together pile of garbage air conditioning system is ready to see if it's gonna take a charge. It held 30 inches of vacuum for about 45 minutes, so I think we're good there. I just checked the electrical system. Clutch is working. I jumped this switch out. If that switch is good, then we're good to go. Let me hook it up. We shall see what happens. Plug her in, boys. Opening up first can. Let's see what happens. There it goes. No compressor yet. I figured we'd probably have to put maybe a full can in it before it'll ever kick in. We'll see what happens. Y'all look at here, fellas. Watch that compressor. Let me turn the light on. Watch it, watch it. Oh, she's spinning on and off, on and on. It's finally, it took about 5 minutes, taking the charge real slow for some reason, but it is taking the charge. Oh, yeah. When it finally stays on, we want it around probably 30, 35 PSI on the low side. Let me continue on. I'll be back in a little while. But it's still charging pretty slow. That can might be half empty. I got it down here around the radiator to heat it up a little bit. I think I told y'all that is an adjustable pressure switch. The old R12 system ran at a little higher pressure on the low side, and it's kicking out about 35. That's too soon for 134. I'm gonna adjust it, turn it down, and it might speed up the Freon going in too. Yes, I'm sitting down because my knees are hurting. Anyway, just started the second can, and the pressure is dropping down to about 25 now. This is with the can open. You know, pressure's gonna be a little higher. With the can closed, not putting any Freon in it, it's running down about 20 before it cuts off. We'll have to final adjust that, but I'm just trying to speed the process up a little bit, because when the compressor's turning, it's gonna put more Freon in there. Anyway, I'll continue on. We'll get it here a little bit. I think it's gonna be okay. Well, there's the deal. It ain't right. Nope. Just took it down the road, and 54-degree vent temp is the best it will do. It's only 75 degrees outside. That is not good enough. It will never cool on a good hot summer day. Don't know what's going on. Pressure at steady state, you know, about what I'd be doing on the highway is 25. So that's not an issue. I don't know. Everything's new except for compressor and evap. Well, I checked to make sure maybe the heater, you know, the door there was maybe open a little bit. So I clamped off flow on the heater hose. Vent temps didn't change. I can see the actuator and the flapper moving for recirculate when you put it on max. It is recirculating. Don't know what it is. Compressor, that compressor may be bad or going bad, and it's not moving enough Freon, but it seems like the pressure would be different. I ain't got no way to check high side because that fitting, the R12 fitting, is smaller than my gauges and hoses and whatnot. Might check that, but for now, it's gonna have to do. It's not gonna cool us, but it ain't supposed to be as hot tomorrow and Sunday, so that's a blessing. I predict I'll probably ride with the windows down. Yep. I feel like I have wasted 4 days of my life, and then I don't know, however long, probably the last hour of y'all's time, and we didn't get our goal accomplished. That's how it goes around here at Backyard Butchery, capital of the world. We'll get it eventually, though. I done gathered up some tools, got them in the truck. I'm gonna gather up a few more. I'm going to the house. I'm gonna eat me something, go to bed. I'll see y'all in the morning. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. I am approximately 30 to 45 minutes into the trip. And we are in 5 miles per hour. Well, actually now we're stopping. I am, I don't know where I'm at. Coming up on Hopkinsville. Anyway, somebody come by me in this 5 mile an hour traffic and told me I had no brake lights. So yeah, that's good. I pulled over. I have hazards. I have blinkers, but no brake lights. So that tells me it's most likely in the brake light switch. Check the fuse, it's good. So the first exit I come to, I'm gonna get off and see what's going on there, because I don't want anybody ramming me and I don't want a ticket for no brake lights. When I get to wherever I can get off, I'll let you know what I found out. Well, there's the deal. I ain't got a clue what's wrong with it. Nope, sure don't. Getting power on the other side of the brake switch, which is obvious because the brake controller's working. That, if I'm not mistaken, goes up through the turn signal mechanism. Turn signals work, flashers work. Don't know why the brake lights won't work. I don't remember if I put a new turn signal mechanism in this thing or not. I'll have to watch the video and see, but I think I did. So I don't know why I don't have brake lights. The only thing I know to do, get in the little fella and drive. If there's somebody behind me and I need to hit the brakes, well, I'll have to hit the flashers. Anyways, let us hit the road. We are at our first gas stop in, well, I looked at the map. We're close to Hendron and Lovelaceville. I think we're still in Kentucky. We're way behind schedule, way like an hour or more behind schedule. Yeah, between stopping for the brakes and then the traffic jams and all that. If we get there before dark, it be nice, because I don't want to load it in the dark. Anyways, let's hit the road. I'm on back roads now. I think I might pick up the interstate again, maybe I-57. I don't remember. I just let Google Maps say, turn here, turn there. Anyway, let's hit the road, Jack. Well, I forgot to tell y'all how the air conditioner's doing. It's so-so. It's putting out 56, 57 degrees out of the vent. Not great, especially when it's only about 78 degrees outside. That'll never cool on a hot day, though. I got to thinking, our low side pressure is at, what was it, 20 or 25 at cruising RPM. It seems kind of low to me. I put 3 cans in it. It may not be enough. So, sometime either today or probably tomorrow, if we come by a Walmart, I might stop by a couple of cans of Freon. I brought my hose and stuff to put it in with. I meant to bring Freon, just forgot it. But anyway, might do that, put another can in it and see what that does. We may fool with that when we get to the campground this afternoon, this evening. I'm spending the night at my niece's campground, by the way. We might fool that when we get there, we'll just see. Anyways, let us hit the road and get this old Chevelle loaded up. I can safely say I've never experienced the hills and hollers and turns and curves like I am right now. Holy crap, we are definitely in the mountains. I think we're still in Missouri, got like 75 miles to go. Up and down, left and right, up and down. Still got an hour and a half of this. It's wearing me out, man. Well, I just got here a few minutes ago. Man, what a ride. I tell you what, riding through the mountains up here in Arkansas, Missouri, whew, that's rough stuff. As I told y'all, I did buy one. And, well, I'm fixing to show you which one it is right now. We're fixing to load it up on the trailer. That one right there, the old Yeller. We'll have to give it a name of some kind. It might call it Old Yeller, but if I decide to paint it, well, that ain't going to work. Yeah, it's the best out of all of them, you know, overall. All of the interiors in it. It ain't beaten banged up. Of course, you know, we do have some rust, but it's an old car. It's going to have rust. And it's got a new bumper. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's got a bumper and a grill we can put on there. And this hood belongs on that one. Well, I got him to throw it in so we'd have a hood. So let me get out of his hair, get this thing loaded, and then we'll head on to the campground. Looking good. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Made it to Grassy Road Cabins and Camping about 10 o'clock last night. This is my niece's campground up here. Remember we come up here last year and then I drove Doodie Brown home, or got him running. Beautiful. Let me turn the camera around and just show you. Beautimous. Very, very beautimous. Got a little pond right down yonder. You can go fishing. Yep. Anyways, let me tell you what's going on with old Doodie Brown here. Well, you know, I came all the way up here 400 miles, I think, from home to right here with 0 brake lights. Yep. And I just did some more troubleshooting, and I'm pretty sure I put a new turn signal mechanism. The brake lights go through that. I just did some more troubleshooting with the meter, and I'm getting power on the other side. The connector that goes to the turn signal, I'm getting power to it. Not getting it back on the dark green and yellow wire. So it tells me that turn signal mechanism is probably a pile of garbage made in China. Yep. Here's what I'm going to do. The white wire is what sends the brake to the turn signal. And then right next to it is the dark green and yellow. Well, I'm just going to jump from the white to the dark green and yellow. And probably won't have any turn signals, but I would rather have brake lights than turn signals. Yep. But before I fix that, let me tell you about the next dilemma that we've got to get fixed. This is pure doomas on my part, I ain't gonna lie. From Calico Rock to right here in Marshall, Arkansas was 51 miles. I burned a half a tank of gas. Guess how much gas I had when I left? I had half a tank of gas. Sitting dead on E when I pulled in the parking lot here. It's 10 miles to the next gas station. I did pass one gas station on the way here, but it was closed. There was one in Calico Rock, but you know, I saw half a tank of gas. You know, I got plenty of gas. No, if I'd have done the math, I would have known. 7 miles to the gallon, and it's about a 16-gallon tank. Yep, that equals about 51 miles. My niece said there might be some old gas in the shed there. I'm gonna go look and see. If not, then the only thing I can do is pray that I make it 10 miles to the gas station. Anyways, let me fix the brake lights, and I would like to add a can of Freon, just see what happens, and then we're gonna hit the road. Well, unfortunately, there was no gas in the shed, but look at that fella right there. She's gonna look pretty sharp when we get done with her. Anyways, let me find some wire, fix our brake lights. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it, fellas? We got brake lights on the trailer, and look there on the back of the truck. Oh yeah, no turn signals, but at least people will know when I'm stopping and they won't ram into me. They get us off the brake pedal. Now, let's put another can of Freon in it, see what it does. Well, I got a little bit more Freon in it. Maybe a third of a can. Temperatures, the air vent temperatures dropped to about 50 revved up. Still not great, and it's only 75 degrees out. We'll keep fooling with it. I think we'll get it eventually. Anyways, let's hit the road. Y'all say your prayers that I can make it to the gas station before I run out of gas. Well, here's the deal, fellas. I've lost brakes. Yep, sure have. First time I hit the brakes, right after I left the campground, she went almost to the floor. Brake light came on and it's still on. We've at least lost rear brakes, so that's the ones that apply first. Yeah, so we traded brakes for brake lights. I would rather have brakes than brake lights, but I ain't got a clue what's going on. And you know, this road's really hilly and really curvy. I've turned the trailer brakes up some. Seems to be doing okay. We might be halfway to the gas station. I'm trying to baby it over all these hills and not get in the gas real heavy. I'm sure the car behind me is really hating on me right now because I'm going kind of slow, but they'll get over it. Anyway, hopefully we'll make it to the gas station and I can figure out what's going on with the brakes. But I'm gonna say we're not gonna have rear brakes all the way home. Well, this ain't good, whatever it is, fellers. I don't know if that's brake smoking. What does it smell like? I can't really smell it right now. Let me climb up under it, see what I got. Well, the smoke is brake fluid on the brake drum. Not good, no. You can see it all on the tire down there at the bottom of the drum. Not good, not good at all. Plus, we've got something on the exhaust right here that's black and roasted on. What in the world have I gotten myself into, fellas? I don't know. It looks like way up there. Well, I don't know what it is actually. This is more concerning though. I don't remember. Did we put new wheel cylinders on this? I don't think we did. Let me see if I can get into town, at least to a gas station, and then I'll see where the nearest O'Reilly's is, and maybe they'll have a wheel cylinder, but I kind of doubt it. It looks like we're headed to Clarksville, Tennessee. 7-hour trip, I don't know, 350, 400 miles without rear brakes. Not good. Well, as you can see, I made it to the gas station. Been waiting on this person for about 10 minutes. They finally decided to move. What in the world, man? If we make it home today, it's gonna be a miracle. Fix to get on the phone and see where the nearest auto parts store is. I'm assuming it's gonna be O'Reilly's or AutoZone, something like that. See if I can find a wheel cylinder. If not, well, I guess we're headed to Clarksville, Tennessee with front brakes and trailer brakes. It's stopping fine. It was the thought of, losing a brake system or half a brake system. That's not a great feeling. It sure ain't. Anyway, let me pay $4.27 a gallon. Yeah, been paying like $3.70, $3.80. That's $4.27 here in this little town. Anyway, fill this thing up. We're gonna head to Little Rock at least. I'm not going back the way I came. Absolutely not, fellas. That wore me out. It's just, terrible. We're going to Little Rock, hit 40 the rest of the way home. It's about the same time, probably 40 or 50 miles longer, but it's the same amount of time and a whole lot less stressful. Now that we don't have rear brakes, we ain't got to worry about up and down and left and right. Anyways, let's head that way. We got filled up, and after I got done filling up, I realized that $4.27 a gallon was on ethanol. The with ethanol is right next to it for $3.72 a gallon. Oh well. Did find an O'Reilly's in Clinton, Arkansas, about 30 minutes from where I'm at. They do have a wheel cylinder. I will get it, might get two, and get some brake fluid. I'm not going to fool with changing it right now because, you have to pull the axle out on these trucks. So we will try to make it home without it, but if something happens, I will have them and we'll be able to change them. Anyways, let's hit the road, head to Clinton, Arkansas, and get us a wheel cylinder. Well, I made it to O'Reilly's here in Clinton, Arkansas. They had two wheel cylinders. Bought them, I think, a brake fluid. Hopefully, I won't need to change it, but I will tell you this. The big long hill just before Clinton here, it was a doozy. I had to ride the brakes a little bit, and there at one time I really had to get on them, and she got a little squirrely, and I could smell the front brakes a little bit, but I think that's the worst hill. From here on out, probably pretty good. I know once I get to Little Rock, getting on 40 should be okay. I'm stopping in, well, it's Maumelle, just before Little Rock. See my niece, I'm gonna be going right by. Jump on 40 there, head on to home, fellas. I'll see y'all somewhere along the way. Hopefully we don't have any more trouble. Just got off the interstate. I believe I am in the Caldwell Forest City area. Just got me something to eat, filled up with some gasolines. I'm contemplating taking a nap because I've been struggling to keep my eyes open the last few miles. I might take me about a 10-minute nap. Then we're gonna hit the road again. Old Doodie Brown's doing pretty good, despite the fact that we don't have rear brakes though. Air conditioning is keeping me cool. It ain't great, but it is keeping me cool. But I do think it needs a little more Freon. We'll add that sometime when we get back home. I've had a lot of time to think, while I'm driving. And I believe I know what we're going to do to this truck to make him an actual car hauling machine. I ain't telling you right now. You'll have to wait till that video comes out. But I'm working the kinks out in my head right now. It's, I think it'll be a pretty good little hauler when I get done with it. Anyways, we'll get back on the interstate. Well, I'm going to take a nap first, Then I'm going to get on the interstate and head to Clarksville, Tennessee. In about 11 o'clock last night. That was a trip for the books. It really was. Goodness. The adventure hasn't stopped though. No sir. Here at MLS Central, backyard butchery capital of the world. Dude has left me stranded. Yeah. Let me explain. I got home 11 o'clock last night, and I took the wheels off the S10. It's sitting in the shop with no wheels on. Well, I didn't think about that until this morning when I got up and had to go to the doctor's office. I went to an allergist first appointment, so I had to be there. So I thought, well, dude, he's the only one I got with tags on it that runs. So I jumped in him, and Google Maps, they're crazy. They sent me where the doctor's office was. Said, you have arrived. So I was putting around trying to find the doctor's office. But dude got hot. He run up to about 230 degrees, so I shut him down. Finally found out where the doctor's office is. He wouldn't start. Battery company wouldn't do nothing. Wouldn't even click. So I got out and walked half a mile to the doctor's office. Anyway, got back to the truck when the doctor visit was over. Got a jump from a guy. Made it half a mile. Well, when I stepped on the brake pedal, that don't feel right. It feels real hard. It ain't moving much. Well, made it to this little intersection right here, hit the pedal, and then let off, and dude kept on stopping. Got a brake locked up on him, just opposite of Doodie Brown. So, I got my brother coming to pick me up. I got to go home, unload the Chevelle, and then bring the truck and trailer out and get this piece of garbage here and get it on. Never stops around here, fellas. When I get back to the house and get everything settled, I'll be back, and I would like to look at Chevelle over and maybe clean up a little bit. We'll see y'all in a little bit. Well, it's been a couple of days since we drug old dude home. Remember, he left me sitting. I've been fighting a tick fever disease again, fellas. It ain't no fun. No, sir. Anyway, I won't get into that. When I got in him last night, I think it was, to unload him off the trailer, I hit the brake pedal, something popped and it went almost to the floor. Well, then I hit it again and they feel somewhat normal. So I don't know if it's in the master cylinder or what. I may just drive him like that and see if it happens again. We got to figure it out. If it don't happen again, well, we ain't got nothing to fix. Anyways, what I want to do right now, pressure wash this dirty thing. But before we do that, look at the lovely wheels I bought. It had 14-inch wheels there. They are right there. You can't find 14-inch tires used on Marketplace. No, sir. Well, I found them. They're 15s. And, well, let's just get them so we have something to move around on. They hold air because I pumped them up last night, but they go down overnight, apparently. Anyways, what I'm gonna do, pressure wash it. We'll go through the inside and see what we got. Might be some hidden treasures. I'd like to get these fellers unstuck. They're froze quite badly. Contemplating on putting the bumper grill on. We're probably going to wait on that because this piece has been up pretty bad. I don't think I can straighten that up. Probably going to have to go ahead and get a new radiator support because that looks pretty bad too. Yep. So we may wait on that, but I do want to clean it up. Look on the inside. We'll pop the trunk. I don't remember if there's any parts back there or not. Anyway, let me drag a pressure washer out. We'll clean her up. Well, it looks about 11.7% better. Yep. The Bondo's still there everywhere. It just blows my mind, fellers. I don't know why they would have done that. I mean, it's not thin either. And I have run my hand over areas. I mean, it may be a little bit, but no, it ain't bad enough to have that much Bondo in it. Not that I can feel anyways. Open up the door and I was gonna look, inside, but it's got undercoat, so you can't really tell nothing. I guess that stuff right there is where the trim holds on to. I don't know. But I just ain't seeing the dents and dings that require that kind of Bondo. It's a little bit ridiculous. Now back here, yeah, I understand that. Let's go look over here on the worst side. Once again, it's just not, I'm not feeling it. That's right there. It may be caved in a little bit there, I can't really tell. But no, I ain't seeing no reason to do this. Other than you just skim coated it. And the top, it's not like that. There's no Bondo up here. What about back here? Nope. That's just regular old paint. Top of the trunk, same thing. That's just paint. Got a little spot of Bondo there. So yeah, that's got me a little worried why they would do that. What we're probably going to do is, there's a feller here that you can rent him out. He'll come sandblast your whole vehicle. It ain't cheap. We might do that, or I might build a sandblaster, or I need an air compressor that you can just zip down through here. You ain't got to wait on a compressor. That might be a project, coming in the near future. We'll just have to wait and see. Right now, let's get in the trunk and look at it. And I'd like to see if we can get this door to open. And I really need to vacuum that nastiness out inside. But before I do that, I want to clean all that other stuff out. Let's get in the trunk first. I got an assortment of screwdrivers. I don't know which one we'll need to get in the trunk, but let me show you this firstly. We need to oil them hinges up. Hopefully they'll break free. I got my usual P&B blaster, and then somebody sent me this, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. Loose juice, kick rust in the nuts. You have to shake it up, and it smells purple. It smells like the grape bubble gum that I used to chew as a kid. It smells real good. Let's just do a head-to-head comparison and see which one does best. It's even a purple color. Yep, sure is. Man, that smells good. It smells just like, I don't know if it was purple Hubba Bubba or Bubbalicious or what it was, but anyway, we got that one. Let me do the other one, and then we'll get into the trunk. Which one's going to open this little feller up? Is it this one? Nope. Nope. Well, we may not get in the trunk, fellas. I don't know what it's going to take to open it. Hey, look here, we got it. Okay, it's a little worse than I remember. Yeah, it's probably the worst one as far as the trunk goes. Let me show you real quickly. Yeah, I can see I can see the ground, the grass in this area over the tank is pretty bad, so it's going to need almost a complete trunk floor in here. Up here looks good behind the seat. There's a brake pedal pad. That all there I think is solid. We'll clean all this out here in a minute. But the quarter panel, other than at the bottom, feels pretty solid. Here's a piece of trim. I wonder if that's window trim, because we're missing some here in the back. I don't know, fellers. We'll have to figure that out. Anyway, let's get back here, see what we got. I don't know what that is. Somebody tell me. You Chevelles aficionados, where does that go on this car? Does it go on this car? What is this? A top to a plastic bottle. More rust over here. We'll need a lower rear quarter, but our wheel wells, I don't see any rust in them, just in the floor there. None over in this area here. Looks pretty good. Now here is what I think is the worst of the car, because this here, that's easy to fix. From about here all the way to, well, pretty much the whole thing. Where that gasket goes, half of it's missing. You can buy this, and so we'll have to replace that at some time. You can see where it's separated from whatever this is called. Yeah, we'll have to do a little bit of work on it, but overall, I'm pretty pleased with it. Let's get the stuff out of the inside so I can vacuum all that nastiness out. There's a whole lot of it. What do we have? We got 3, 4, 5 headlights. So if we need headlights, we got them. Hopefully they work. Horn, a door handle that doesn't match this one here. We'll keep it just in case though. Of course, we got us a bumper right here. Let me get this little fella here out without busting a window. It ain't new, but it is a lot straighter and more chromy. Matter of fact, the chrome looks pretty good on it. My asthma's already bad today. This is not going to help it. Nope. But there is our new grill. It's got $15 on it. Wonder how long ago that price was put on it. Door panels. I just soon use them as a pattern and make new ones out of that, whatever kind of board that is. We'll keep that. I mean, that doesn't look bad. It's just, it has a really big curvature in it. Here's what's left of the other one. It's in a couple, 3 pieces. So yeah, we'll have to make one at least. Man, this stuff is deep in here. There's an intake gasket. I don't need that. There's a crane cams box over there. We'll get that out in a minute. But as far as stuff that we might can use, I think that's it over here. I gotta see about getting that door open. Let me work on that a minute. I'll be right back. Would you look at it? Would you just look at it? I hit it with the old loose juice and it come right open. I tugged about 3 times. Yep. Hinges need some too. Let's go ahead and do that because I hear them squealing. All right. Oh, let me show you this right here. Oh, there's a big hole right there too. I'm not drunk, I promise. This comb, I didn't realize it was stuck down in here until the campground. And I said to myself, leave it. Let's see if it survives the whole trip. Look at here. I got me a new comb to comb my hair. Anyway, I was interested in this crane cams box, but it's just a box. Yep, flat as a flitter, ain't nothing in it. We got, what is this right here? That's an exhaust gasket, but I've never seen one made like that. That's sort of, well, I don't know. Other than that, it's just a bunch of leaves, acorns, and probably raccoon poopages. Let me see. Well, I can see there's no glove box to it. I can see daylight, so ain't nothing there. The hinges, actually, the lock has got it. But anyway, there's nothing there. So let me vacuum this out real quick. This is so thick and it's a bunch of sticks and it's completely filled in the bottom. I don't know what in the world would have done that, but it's completely full of just sticks and stuff. Did a beaver get in there and try to build a dam? I don't know, but I'm just gonna have to scoop this up and put it in the trash can because it's just, vacuum won't pick it up. It's just so much. It's about the only time you'll ever see me wear gloves, fellas, if I'm fixing to jump in some rat poop. And it is rat, it ain't no mouse. You should have seen the size of the turds in the front floorboard. But these sticks and stuff like this, it's all in the back. I don't know what would have done it. I've never seen a mouse do this. Very odd. All right, the vacuum can probably handle the rest of that. If I knew how the back seat come loose, I would pull it out because it's just jam-packed full of stuff under the springs and stuff. That's how it comes loose. You pick up on the back. See the leaves? The windows must have been open for years or something. Just look at it. Good grief, man. What in the world? Look at the acorns, man. Look how deep this is. What in the world, man? Keep stopping up my vacuum. I'm gonna have to scoop this out. I've never seen so many acorns and poop in my life. That box is dang near full. Still got a bunch in the floorboard and under the seat. Y'all look at my vacuum over here. It's as full as it can get. Here's the inlet. It kept getting stopped up because it's full. What in the world, man? Let me empty this. I'll continue vacuuming this and then I'll be back in a little bit. Oh, wow. What a load of garbage was in that thing. And then look at the seats, man. This is the back. It's just got leaves in it, but the bottom, all this fell out of it and it's still jam-packed full. The frame looks to be in decent shape. So what I'll do with that, we're gonna put her over here at the edge of the woods. Let nature clear it out a little bit. Then we may put a new cushion and cover and that stuff on it. But man, I've only had one other vehicle have this much garbage in it, and that was Dumas. It was probably that deep of rat doo-doo. Anyway, I mainly wanted to clean it out and look at the floorboards. I see a little bit of daylight pinholes. Nothing that concerns me here. There's nothing here. Well, I'll take it back. There's one little bitty hole there. Some here. Seemed like I saw some right in this area. I don't see it right now though. Of course, I did the trunk and it looks 1,000 times worse. Yep, gonna have whole floor from there back. I'm sure y'all can't see that because of the sunshine. Over here, this floorboard looks really good. I see no holes whatsoever. And this and up here, I see a pinhole or two, but it was wet. And for it not to have any giant rust holes, pretty doggone good. Here's what's probably going to happen, not today, but next time we work on it, it needs to be disinfected because it's disgusting. Probably going to pull the seats out, pressure wash everything. I'm going to bleach it, whatever it takes to disinfect the entire inside of the car, because pretty nasty. Yep. Anyways, let's see if these quarter windows will roll down. Look at here, fellas. Will y'all look at that? Would you just look at it? Of course they roll down. Let's go do the other side real quick, see if it works. Will it or won't it? Of course it will. Of course it will. It needs some oil and grease on it, but it did roll down. Yep. Let's go up here now. What about the hinges on the hood? Are they gonna break free? This is the, what was it? Knock 'em loose, loose juice, whatever it was called. Ow. That ain't doing nothing yet. What about this one over here? Is it gonna break free with the croil of oil? No, it needs to go down and back. Let me put y'all on the camera stand. I'll work with it a little bit. We'll see if it breaks free. Will it or won't it? Come on, man, break free. It's moving. Not real good, but it is moving. Oh, yeah, that thing is stuck pretty doggone bad. It's gonna need some more work. Let's go try the Lucy juice. Will it or won't it? By George, I think the loose juice, it may be okay. Look at there, fellas. Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Loose Juice, if you are watching, send me a whole case of that if you want to. I will get the information off the can. I'll put it right here in case anybody else would like to try it out. Tell you what I'll do. Let me go get it. We'll spray that one over there and see if it'll loosen it up that easily. Awesome, man. All right, give that a minute. We'll come over here and see if that'll break free. Whilst we wait on that to do its magic, here's the inventory from the inside. 5 headlights, a horn, door handle. This, I sort of think may be what the radiator bolts to. That's what it looks like. And of course, got a grill on the bumper. We're saving that door card for at least a template. Like I said, that's going to go over to the woods and get cleansed by Mother Nature for a while. Yeah. I wanted to decode this, whatever you call it. Is it a trim tag, body tag, whatever? There it is if some of y'all want to decode it also. Let me look that up real quick. Let's see what the little feller was originally. Well, I just got done decoding part of it. Well, this was using Gemini, Google's AI, so, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But 1964 Malibu 2-door sport coupe, we already knew that. Made 3rd week of March. The 750 is the interior code. Medium aqua starrette cloth, medium metallic aqua imitation leather. And then ACC, I'm assuming it's accessories, and all it has is A20. And Google says that is front seat belts. That's all it had. It said it was made in the Fremont, California plant, and it was basically a no-frill, stripped-down Malibu. Paint code, can't find nothing. It's supposed to be a 3-digit code, and it's, what was it? Well, let's look and see. It's a CPA, something or another. Yeah, CPA, and then below it, 12054. And then right here it says, this car finished with magic, I can't read that, magic mirror, acrylic lacquer, body by Fisher. Don't know what the paint code is. I'll figure that out. Some of you Chevelle aficionados, y'all check me on all that and let me know if you know what color this thing was originally. Anyways, let's see if our hood hinge is going to work now. No Hummer. Is it going to work or not? Well, I might need my Hummer. Let me get the Hummer. Hummer. She's pretty stuck. Let me see what happened right then, because it sure unfrozen right then. Well, it sticks. I'll keep spraying it with the loose juice, and I bet you it'll get even better. Oh yeah. I'm just looking at this right here. It's a light blue under this yellow. Wonder if that's the original color. I'll figure that out eventually. I'll let y'all know, but pretty pleased with it. Yeah, it's a rough old car, but you know, most everything I drag home is. Speaking of plans for the old car, I got things, you know, rattling around in my head what I want to do to it. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all one of them. You've heard me mention cruising the coast. Well, this may be what we drive if I decide to go. I need to go see when the dates are. I want to say it's mid-October. If that's it, then it gives us 2 months. If I think I can do it without it rushing me, and I got the money, we may try to make that go. Yeah, I already know what kind of motor I want. Well, I'm torn between 2 different ways with it. Pretty sure though I know which way I'm gonna go. Interior wise, wouldn't mind some saddle deadening and carpet, and yeah, y'all know me. Interior ain't at the top of my list. The motor and transmission. I'm a hot rod guy. What can I say? Wheels and tires, of course, we gotta have that. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do. I reckon you'll find out soon enough, you know, if we're going to cruising the coast in it or not, because we got to get to working on it pretty soon. Yep. There ain't one way you're gonna find that out either. That's if the good Lord willing the creek don't rise. I'll see y'all on the next one.